Hello, this is Carrie and Jen from Woodinville Wine Blog.
Hi.
And we have Sue Ann from Vino Hawks and Jill Perillo Clark from CWU Wine Studies. And we are drinking during the day because it's Wine Wednesday. Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers. In everybody's glass. I'm starting with something I poured earlier. It is a Grenache Blanc from Callan Cellars, and it is blowing me away. Oh, my God. Cheers. In fact, I'll put that on a banner.
Grenache Blanc. That sounds great. It's an unusual one.
It is.
Jill, what are you having?
Well, I am drinking a little Prosecco. I'm going a little cash. I've got some Veneto Prosecco here that I opened yesterday. So that's what I'm working with today.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
How about you, Sue Ann?
I am, as you can see outside, and it's sunny and gorgeous, and I am enjoying an Avenia Rosé. And this is the 2018, and I am trying to finish out all of my last year's rosés, so I can go ahead and stock up on the
new releases. I'm having the 2018 Mary Hill Sangiovese Rosé. Yeah, it's really good.
I love that
one. Are you telling me that it's incredibly affordable right now, too? Mary Hill did not ask us to do an ad for them, but we're blown away.
They did not ask us to do an ad, but it is indeed on, I think today is the last day of their sale. So I got, James, my fiance, loves rosé. So we ordered a case of this, and it was like not even $13 a bottle.
Nice.
So,
wow.
Yeah. If you're a wine club member there, the discount is huge. And I think even if you're not a wine club member, they're running a huge sale right now. So definitely check that out, because
awesome.
I'm just going to go pick it up. I don't have to pay for shipping, and no more arguing about which wine to open.
And their tasting room lead was reminding me that Mary Hill makes so much rosé, they will literally never run out of it. Like a lot of the smaller, wineries, you have to grab it and run because you'll never get it again.
Right. Yeah, we've learned that the hard way.
And we'd love to hear what our audience is drinking. If you want to say something in the comments of the video. And I hope that Lydia will be joining us today. So we have a special guest from CWU Wine Studies. Jill, would you tell us about the program and what you're doing lately and the changes because of coronavirus and all the good stuff?
Yeah, so I'm the program director for Wine Studies, and I'm a lecturer, so I teach as well over at Central Washington University. So what really sets our program apart is we're focused on the business end of the wine industry. So we do teach classes in viticulture and enology, but they're more fundamental classes. The bulk of our program is really dedicated to marketing, branding, sales, and distribution.
Wow.
So yeah, and that was that's a change that's kind of been gradually coming together, and we've really kind of focused in that direction probably the last 3 or 4 years. So we're all online. Yeah, it's been good.
You don't know how to sell it necessarily.
Yeah. So it's been well received, and enrollment is good. We're all online this quarter, as are all schools. So this is my teaching background.
That's great.
Home. Yeah. So, and I actually live here on the west side. So, so in some ways, this hasn't been the worst transition for me, because I was commuting 1 day a week to Ellensburg. I was lecturing, getting back on the road, driving back, and then I would teach at the Highline branch campus, and sometimes head over to Edmonds for meetings. So I was going all over the place.
That's a lot.
It is. So this
isn't so bad.
It's not so bad.
So we would love to take you out to wine tasting someday when everything is back open in Woodinville. We'll go have a nice time.
Yes. I love our Woodinville area. It is nice when I'm able to bring students that way and go on field trips. And I don't know when that's going to happen again, but this is great. I love actually just being able to interact virtually. This has been a nice lifeline for.
I want to ask if you're in our
right.
Are you in our Greater Seattle social media industry group?
I am.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just joined that. Funny enough, I'm actually teaching a class this quarter for the first time. It's a brand new class for us, social media management for wineries.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's made me even more interested to reach out and kind of see what's going on and participate in things like this.
Well,
That's awesome.
we would highly recommend that next March you attend Social Media Marketing World. It is expensive. It's a $1,700 ticket, but we learned like life-changing amounts of stuff.
Ooh.
There.
It's in San Diego too.
Okay.
San Diego.
Darn.
Can't
It's
get
so
ready.
unpleasantly 70 and sunny there in March. Oh, it's painful.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe
good
I can
time.
do that with some professional development funds. Maybe I can get the university to kick in on that.
There you go.
That'd be nice.
This year we were too busy to go, and so we paid for the virtual ticket online, which is $700, so you can watch all the same panels anyway, and it's still worth it. But I will be summarizing all those classes as soon as I have time to take them. I'll summarize them to Greater Seattle. And anybody who's watching, if you are a social media manager or a wine blogger, you're welcome to join us. It's called Greater Seattle Social Media Wine Industry something. Just search for it. I don't know the address.
Awesome.
You can post it. I'm trying to remember how I even did that, but I can't.
I was wondering who was going to be the first person with a pet interruption, and I thought it would be me.
There we go.
Yay. Maybe Jill already told me about this mystery bottle that I bought at the store because I found it interesting that both of the mystery bottles, and I'll have to grab the other one, don't really say who actually makes them. And their two websites for the two brands look very identical. So this one is Disastrous by Nature, Walla Walla, Washington is the only info I have. So I look for their Instagram. They don't have one. I look for their Facebook. They don't have one. And that hashtag Disastrous by Nature seems to have a lot of Charles Smith related posts in it. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. That label looks very Charles Smith to me.
Yes. And the other label and I'll go grab it later. The other wine was Miraculous Wine Company or Mysterious Wine Company. And the same thing, like not a lot of info in the back. Walla Walla, MWC, no Instagram presence, no Facebook presence, and an identical website to this one.
Yeah.
And it was a great price point. I got it at Safeway while I was getting our produce and dairy. It was under $12, so I said, score.
That's awesome.
I normally don't drink anything but Woodinville wine on camera to be loyal to our people, but all of our grapes are grown in Eastern Washington anyway. But it is Walla Walla Valley Wine Month, so we're celebrating them on all of our feeds this month. Yay!
Nice.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with the disaster wine last year. I snagged that one probably at Safeway and got home and doing my research on it, and I couldn't find any info on it. So I had a similar experience with that one. But I thought it was a pretty tasty bottle for the price point.
I had to glitter up my glass to make
Nice.
it more spectacular. And I'm expecting this to kind of be a hot mess. And I promise the glitter is not affecting the taste of the wine.
Oh, that's fun.
This has about 5 or 7 varietals in it, including Lemberger and Pinot Gris and Pinot Noir and Syrah. And I'm like, that's kind of a lot, kind of like Chelan Cellars, their last rosé last year had like literally
A lot.
varieties. Like, what's going on? And there is something gross in my glass that I don't want to know. Okay. It was a cherry stem. I don't know how that happened. So, what is Lemberger? I don't know anything about Lemberger.
I don't have any idea.
Blaukenfish. That's the alternative name for it. The only one I believe that's grown in our state is done by Kiona. Kiona
Okay.
Winery out on Red Mountain. They do a Lemberger, and to the best of my knowledge, that is the only one. Yeah,
Wow.
at least domestic. Yeah, here in Washington. Yeah.
Oh,
So very
thanks. Wow.
interesting.
I am starting a watch party on my own page.
I'm trying to.
Kiona
Okay.
Winery out on Red Mountain. They do a Lemberger, and to the best of my knowledge, that is the only one. Yeah. Oh, that's me. At least.
Hey, I think your sound is up, Carrie.
Yeah, sorry. Let me fix that.
It's got a weird delay.
Okay. That's what I did wrong.
I'm trying to figure out how I
I
did
cannot
that.
apparently have a watch party at the same time I'm broadcasting. Pardon me, that was very unprofessional, but we're all learning all this new technology.
Exactly.
New normal.
Jill, for our viewers that are watching that haven't heard me going on and on about this, I'd love to ask you, the expert here, what is the percentage of women who graduate wine school in Washington State and go on to actually have their own wineries?
That is a great question. I don't have an actual percentage for you. I would say in our program, it's about 50-50, males and females. And I've had a couple students that have, I've been there, this will be my 4th year. So I've had a handful of students graduate and go on to work for wineries, but I have not had any that have gone on to start their own winery per se. Yeah, so I'd say it's about 50-50. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
most of
that's
my
a yet.
students-
I said
Right.
hopefully they haven't started their own winery yet. They're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
coming through
Sure.
the-
They're still youngins. They're still
Yeah.
out there cutting their teeth. But most of my students go on to do marketing and sales and distribution. So
Okay.
yeah, I have a couple that are about ready to graduate, and I'm just hopeful that they are able to find gainful employment in our current climate. So
Right.
tough time for them. But
If anything, it might be a perfect opportunity for wineries that have struggled to do their own social media now that we all have to go virtual, and you pretty much, we've been begging people for years to go on camera, do videos, interview your winemaker, and no one ever wants to be on camera. But now they kind of have to be. So maybe this is a good kick in the pants to finally do it.
I'm hoping so. I know our department, Wine Studies, we've had a Facebook page. I inherited it when I came in, so it's been around for a while, but I initiated it Instagram, and we just a couple of weeks ago had a student start a YouTube channel.
Oh,
So
cool.
we're dabbling with it. We're trying to get them up and running so they're ready to get out there and start helping wineries initiate those projects. So, but yes, this is quite the impetus to get that going. This
It is.
crazy world we're living in.
I've been really enjoying the winemaker live tastings. I know you guys have been publishing the one, the ones that you guys have been seeing, and I've just been really enjoying them. And I love it, like especially when they post like, a week out, like, hey, I'm going to do wine, so you have time to like either pick up the wine or, like JM, they'll like send out a message like decant your wine now for the live tasting, which I think is great.
Yeah.
and then I really enjoy participating and drinking the wine at the same time, like with the winemaker, and those have been really fun.
Right. It's fun, isn't it? I think so too. I've done that a couple times now, and it's. I mean, I think we're all just in need of social connection, and it's like, hey, we don't get to hear from the winemakers directly all that often, so it's kind of a treat.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
interesting to see them pop up more and more just in the last few weeks. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and it's a great way to have us drink the wine and go get more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Open to that.
Yeah, and you had mentioned earlier, why not have a little glass of wine at 4 p.m.? We're not going anywhere, right?
Exactly.
It's safe. We're home. We're not going anywhere. Yeah, safe environment.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. No judgment. It's 4:00. That's not too early.
Yeah. I need to get out there and order some. Actually, I went through all of my local stuff first. So I'm down to kind of my imports left in my stash and my stuff that I'm aging. So I think after we wrap up, I might do some online shopping and get some stuff sent out to the house.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Have you broken down and opened anything special during like a particularly stressful time, or I wish I could go to a restaurant, darn it, I was going to age this 2 more years, but
Not yet. I was just looking through everything the other day, and I'm right there. I am right there. So I have a bottle of actual champagne. If you're familiar, Hedges Winery out on Red Mountain, they actually have a connection to a winery in the Champagne district of France, and they import.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I have one of those bottles. That's definitely in my collection. That's hinging. I have a wedding anniversary coming up, so that might come out. That's fun because it's, you know, it's kind of got a tie to the Northwest, but it's European, so kind of fun there. And see what else. I have some Kiona. I'm a big fan of our local stuff, obviously. So I have some Concho cellars from Walla Walla. I have a couple things that I'm just sitting on that, yeah, I think the time might be coming. How about you guys? Have you gotten into anything that you've been saving?
Well, I almost opened a bottle from Market Vineyards that I've been saving, but I held off. And then I have a few bottles that I've set aside that I haven't opened, but definitely a few that when I opened it, I was like, oh, I probably should have waited another year or two, but it was still good. And I think that's okay because now I'm learning what that means, and I'm just figuring things out and trying to discover along the way.
Truth be told, I've always been really bad at aging wine.
Really?
I've always been bad. I just want to drink it, you know? So I finally have a couple things and I'm like, well, we'll see.
Right?
Yeah.
So far, we've been pretty good. We haven't gone down below. We haven't drank like our last bottle of anything. So we've been pretty good about at least saving. But I would definitely say ours is that our kind of like daily price point has increased.
For sure. We were just talking about that. I was just saying that to Carrie today. Like our daily drink, like we need to kind of chill a little bit.
Yeah, that's been the biggest thing. You know, it's like a Tuesday night, and you're like, okay, Mark Ryan, that sounds fun tonight. You know, like
exactly.
Like, you know, maybe not every, you know, on a Tuesday and Monday night. You know, maybe like bring that price point down a little bit. But
exactly, I hear you.
What are your favorite go-tos? What are your average? Like, I love Bernard Griffin Rosé of Sangiovese. That's like one of my, for years. I've always just grabbed a couple bottles here and there and kept them around, and I'm out now. But what are your guys' like everyday kind of go-tos, or maybe every other day or whatever?
I tend to open up Airfield Estates wines because they're at my local PCC market, which is just basically down the street, and they're a good price point, and they're just always good. They're crowd pleasers. And back when I could throw parties 3 or 4 weeks ago, I made sure to always have some Guardian Cellars and Airfield in the house for people that aren't wine snob. Well, not that you have to be a wine snob to like it, but just everyone liked it. It was a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, fun. Anybody else?
I just found a new one. Esquin delivers, and so we got a couple of varieties of, you know, kind of like slightly lower price point wines, and two that I really like: the Ryan Patrick Rock Island Red, which is really good, and then it's a lot of wines. A Kind Stranger, which is more their like daily drinker price point, and that one was really good as well. So those are a couple of that. Like I said, Esquin delivered, so we just got a good variety of those.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out.
I always freak out because back when I could throw a party, the people coming to my parties that were not from the wine industry know that I have a wine blog, and they very kindly would bring wine to my house, but they would dump cheap Chardonnay on me. And then I'd look over at the party and they were drinking my good red Malbec. I'm like, oh, really? Please don't bring wine. Just don't bring. So I ended up cooking with a lot of cheap Chardonnay, and I made so much mushroom soup because I didn't really know what else to do with it.
That's funny.
That's funny.
At least you tried.
Yeah. So I bought a wine trivia game. It came with my otherwise essential Amazon order. No, I did not get toilet paper. They were out. And Jen and I both have some questions, and I know the answers to Jen, so I can't play at all.
Oh, pressure. The pressure's on, lady.
I know. And I'm hoping that our audience of 6 people will join in. No, don't be embarrassed if you don't know the answer. We picked some hard ones and some funny ones. Some fun ones. But Jen, do you want to start, or do you want
the last blog that I am an amateur, so I am I'd say an advanced beginner in the wine world. So, but I'm happy to participate.
Okay, let's see. Which country has the highest rate of wine consumption per capita? France, Italy, or the Vatican?
So, yeah, France?
I'm gonna
Oh,
go.
yeah,
for
I have
Italy.
no idea.
I didn't realize that the Vatican was a country and not a city.
Yeah.
I need to go back to school and take some geography.
Any guesses?
France?
Yeah, I think Jill's going for France. I'm gonna go for Italy.
Well, I would have said France as well, but the answer is actually the Vatican.
Wow.
Communion, I guess, huh?
I mean,
Whoa.
and that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, and it's way higher actually. It's 77.8 liters per capita in the Vatican against 44.2 in France.
Wow. That's fascinating.
I don't know what that means, but
Is that
that's
per population or like total?
per capita.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they
So-
don't drink much.
So mine says, what is a fortified wine? Is it a wine with added vitamins, a highly aromatic wine, or a wine with added alcohol?
Alcohol.
Oh, you guys got it. I would have guessed vitamins. I thought that's why homeless people drank it.
Okay, let's see.
No offense to homeless people. Mm.
Okay, where were the first grapevines grown?
Oh, wait. Say that again.
Where were the first grapevines grown?
Interesting.
Is that multiple choice?
the multiple choice?
So yeah, I'm sorry. It's a multiple choice. So in Mesopotamia, in Greece and Egypt, or in Piedmont.
I don't know, but I'm gonna guess Mesopotamia. Just
Okay.
I have no idea.
I'll go with
gonna
France and Egypt.
Egypt. Because that's weird that there's two on the same question. Are they trying to trick us?
I don't know. What about you, Sue Ann?
I'm gonna go with Greece and Egypt as well.
Okay, the answer is Mesopotamia.
Oh, interesting.
Jill got it.
Good job, Jill.
Total guess.
They can crack that.
Yeah.
And it says the first vines date back to 6000 BC,
Wow, that's cool.
right?
Back when I got my driver's license. Just kidding. Okay, I got a funny one. I'm typing it in. Okay. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. Nope, it didn't save it. All right. What is James Bond 007's favorite champagne? Is it Veuve Clicquot, which I think I just mispronounced, Mumm, or Bollinger?
It's got to be Viv.
I love Veuve. That's my
Yeah.
favorite campaign.
That's my favorite too.
Just 'cause I like it.
Is that right? Is that the right answer, Carrie?
I'm typing it. Champagne is, let me save it. Really, it works. It's Bollinger.
Oh,
Correct pronunciation of the second half of Veuve. Veuve Clicquot.
Clicquot.
Okay.
Clicquot? Clicquot?
Clicquot.
Clicquot.
Okay.
Clicquot?
So the way-
Veuve means widow, and then Clicquot is her last name. The widow Clicquot.
wow.
Is anybody playing along who's watching? Feel free to type something in the comments. Yes.
But the cancer.
Hello. The candidate is watching.
Good. Oh,
Yay.
Hi. Okay, so I might butcher this next one, but that's okay. So when a bottle of Rioja is marked Gran Reserva, how many years has the wine been aged? Multiple choice. 10 years, 2 years, or between 5 and 7 years?
If they're using the word grand, it must mean like 10 years.
I'm going 10.
10,
what was the mid-range one?
5 to 7.
I'll throw that guess out.
Okay. So the answer is between 5 and 7 years.
Interesting.
Jill
Wow.
win. Okay. Let's see. Which animals urine is considered to be like an aroma of high quality Sauvignon Blanc?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Is it a rabbit, a dog, or a cat?
Rabbit.
It's cat, I believe.
Cat.
Oops. Cat is the winner. That makes me not want to ever drink Sauv Blanc
That's
again.
not okay.
Yeah, that's a weird question.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really needed to like make that determination.
They
Yeah.
proved it, not me. I don't know. I had to pick that one. I apologize. I'm sure Jen has some
That's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting descriptor.
Yes.
Okay, if you detect an aroma of gingerbread, which white wine are you likely to be drinking? Pinot Gris, Muscat, or Gewürztraminer?
I'm gonna vote Gewürztraminer.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, Gewürz is my
I
guy.
said Muscat because it's so desserty.
Muscat, okay. So, and what did you say, Sue Ann?
Gewürz.
Okay, that is the right answer.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Good job.
That it always reminds me of Leavenworth because that's something that you would find in Leavenworth. So
Ah,
There
it
you go.
makes
Yeah, that's a good connection to draw. Yeah.
Christmas cone.
Okay, I have just a couple more. Today, it is a reputed brand of champagne, but who was Dom Perignon? Was he a former minister, a Benedictine monk, or the lover of Queen of France and Navarre, Marie Antoinette? Who was Dom Perignon?
I vote C.
You think he was the lover of Marie Antoinette? Any other votes?
that's about six
Minister,
for me.
Benedictine monk?
I believe he was a monk.
He was a monk.
Oh, that's awesome.
A lot of
that
monks
is.
had to brew and ferment things because they were bored and didn't have lots of things to do with their energy. So they drank.
I mean, back to the Protect of the Vatican.
They
I mean,
were literate, right? So they wrote it down and they took notes and they passed that information on. So
Thank you, monks. I
Wow.
cheer to them.
yeah,
We need your expertise.
That is awesome. Okay, if you sense a hint of prunes, underbrush, and spices, which red wine are you likely to be drinking? Pinot Noir, Cab Franc, or Merlot?
can you say the descriptors again?
The hint of prunes, underbrush, and spices.
and it
That
was
was
what were the Cab Franc, Pinot Noir, or
Merlot.
Cab Franc, I
I think
guess.
Cab
I'm
Franc?
gonna go Cab Franc.
Yeah, Cab Franc.
Ooh, okay. The answer is Merlot.
Ooh. The more you know, Merlot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only have two left. Which country
Oh,
is the largest producer of wine in Latin America? Is it Argentina, Chile, or Venezuela? That's hard. Ooh.
I say Argentina.
Yeah,
Argentina.
I agree. Argentina would be my guess.
Yep.
Well, you ladies are smart. You got the answer right away.
The Malbec.
Right.
Mm.
Okay, this next one's super easy. Which name is given to a 1.5 liter bottle of wine? Does anyone know without multiple choice?
Magnum.
Bingo. You got it. You didn't even need the multiple choices.
Fill in the blank. What is the very largest one you've seen in person in real life, and where was it?
Oh gosh.
I bet Jen can remember. I took her
I
picture
can.
next to it.
Yep. It was, yeah, I can. It was at Mark Ryan. It was like as tall as I was.
Wow.
Oh, that's big.
Is that a Jeroboam or a Nebuchadnezzar, or what's
Yeah,
that?
Oh yeah.
all those terms.
I think I don't remember.
Looks like our YouTube people don't know either. They are very quiet today. Okay. My last one. Which innovation did influential wine writer Robert Parker introduce to the role? Was it a tool for tasting wine without opening the bottle? I'm sorry. An aroma wheel or wine tasting with a point system?
Okay.
Point system.
Point system.
All right. I couldn't read that one with a straight face. Wine without opening the bottle.
Bourbon?
Okay, this is a good one. I would not have known this. How many grape varieties are there in the world? Approximately 1,000, approximately 8,000, or approximately 300?
I'm gonna go 300.
I'm going to say 1,000 because that's a lot.
And they mean all grape varietals?
Or just
Yeah.
wine grapes.
It's
Just
just
like
grape.
vinifera?
It just says grape varieties.
I'll go big. I literally, I have no idea. Maybe 8,000. I'll take that big number.
You are correct. It is 8,000,
Wow.
That too. Yay. Good job.
right? I would not have guessed that. Oh,
Yep.
decanted. Good job.
Can't forget it.
They knew. Of course they did. That's the end of my trivia questions.
Me too. We did
that's
pretty
fun.
well. I should probably never be an announcer because I couldn't read it without laughing. So for those of you that have just joined us, we are Carrie and Jen from Woodinville Wine Blog and Lake Chelan Wine Blog. And we would have been in Walla Walla covering spring barrel release, but the governor asked us all to stay home. So we're going back to Walla Walla later this summer when it's safe. And this is Sue Ann from Vino Hawks, wine blogger, and Jill Clark from CWU Wine Studies. And Jill, for our people that just joined us a second ago, what can you tell us about your program and what type of student should be tempted to join?
Yes. So I'm the program director for wine studies over at Central, and our program is really focused on the business end of the wine industry. So we teach a good amount of fundamental classes. So you will get with our program a fundamental base of viticulture and enology and all the basic good stuff. But then we really customize our program into marketing, branding, sales, and distribution. So that's really the direction that our program goes. We teach a class right now, a couple of new ones, tasting room management, social media management. So we're starting to kind of get into some new areas. And we're also starting to it's in the works, but we're starting to make some of our classes and offerings available through continuing education. So we're opening up what we teach to the general public for interest classes, not just for undergraduates for credit. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and now we're entirely online. So our classes are very accessible for people. So whether you're working full-time, part-time, student, working adult, yeah, we've got a little something for you.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Do you do any field trips to wineries or make the students do their internships with doing like secret shopper type tasting room visits?
Oh, that's fun. No, a couple program highlights that we have. Unfortunately, right now with social distancing, we're not able to fully get those going. But if someone were to pursue the 4-year degree that we offer in wine studies, the 4-year has 2 components that are really noteworthy. We do an internship. So students are required to do an internship with a winery. And then the other thing that we offer is a study abroad, a faculty-led study abroad. Ooh. So that's really fun. Wow. And we've been doing that. This is the first year, unfortunately, that it's been postponed, but that has been a cornerstone of our program for many years, as we take a group of students over to Europe and we spend about 10 days traveling through various wine regions, usually France, Germany, Spain, and Italy. We go through the big ones.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's a really fun opportunity, and unfortunately, as I mentioned, this year's program got postponed, but hopefully we'll be able to get that up and running again. You had asked about field trips, and we do offer a class that we just initiated last fall called Survey of Washington Wines. It's a class I brought to fruition myself. I worked in the Washington wine industry for about 15 years before I went to the academic side. So I was very interested in making sure that our program had a good focus on our local industry. So our Survey of Washington Wines class is really focused on just exploring what we have here in Washington State. So I take students take them on a field trip to the Woodinville area. We went to Chateau Saint Michel. We work with Matthew Sellers quite a bit. We love Patterson Sellers. John Patterson's fantastic with working with our students. Yeah, and then we take them over to the Red Mountain area. So Kiona's been a great contributor to our program. Hedges, gone out in that direction, and then over to the Tri-Cities area. So we've worked with Bunnell Family Sellers, Thurston Wolf. We've taken them over there. It's hard to get students out to Walla Walla, just proximity. I love Walla Walla. I have family in Walla Walla. It's just hard to get over there.
That extra, right? It's that extra little stretch. I know.
It's a long walk.
It pretty much is an overnight trip, and sometimes that's a little challenging with just the logistics of setting up a field trip that way.
Right.
But I love Walla Walla. It's one of my favorite areas. So,
are there any issues if your students are under age 21? Because if you go to college at age 18,
yes, that's a great question you bring up. Yes, we do have a specific class 15 permit. So I think I said that right. 15. There's class 12, class 13. I believe it's a 15. I'm at a momentary brain slip. So that allows basically educational tasting, but it's only on site. So that's for whenever students are on the Ellensburg campus or one of our branch campuses, they are allowed to do taste and spit as long as it's within a confined area. And unfortunately, that does not translate to our field trips. So if you're under 21 and you're on a field trip, you can swirl and smell, but you can't actually sample the wine, which is about
that's why you go study abroad, go to France, where you can drink at 18.
Right.
That's what I tell them. Yeah, I use that as a ploy. Come on, sign up for the yeah. Come on, join the major.
Maybe you need some chaperones that are in their 50s.
Actually, we're really trying to open up that study abroad opportunity through continuing education as well. So it's all in the works. That is definitely what we're trying to do. Actually, we did open that door. It just our trip got postponed. So once it gets up and running again, that is a possibility. That is a possibility. Yeah. So non-matriculated students could join. They would just pay a flat fee and come with us on our trip. Yeah.
That's cool.
Anna's tripping because she's had a glass of wine.
It is beautifully warm out. It's awesome. It's warm out. I was just wearing long sleeves so that I didn't burn, because even though it's April, I clearly have really pale skin, and so. But it is getting a little warm with my sweater on. So
Sue Ann, what is next for your blog? And of course, things are closed down. So Jen and I have been going through old posts and catching up with stuff we already filmed, because we can't just run out to the tasting rooms. What are you doing with your backlog or moving forward with your blog, since you can't actually go to a tasting room at the moment other than to pick up curbside?
Yeah, so that is actually one of the things that we've been, working through, is that it can actually be, really challenging. We're in several wine clubs. We have a wine club joining problem. So we get into that habit of posting the same wines over and over, which is awesome, because we love to support. Obviously, it's all local wine clubs, so we love to support those local. But one of the things that we've been trying to do is figure out how to support other wineries that you aren't necessarily a club member of. We always do, every year we do the Woodinville passport. So that's one of the ideas, is to kind of go through the passport and look to see if they're doing deliveries or, shipping or curbside pickup, and then, buying a couple of bottles from those wineries that you would have visited, on the passport. So that's one of the ideas that we're still, kind of working through. And it's definitely a challenge, obviously, getting new, content. And even one of the things that we were talking about today was just getting ideas, like we are really strict with our adherence to, social distancing and staying home. And so you're like, oh, I'm at the house again. What idea do I have for where can I photograph a bottle of wine today? So it can definitely be challenging to keep the creativity going. And so, we're just trying to, do, research and continue to try to find other ways to support other wineries that maybe we're not, in addition to the ones that we're club members at. So we did pick up some really great rosé from Damsel. I mean, we're club members at Damsel, so we love Damsel. But they do
I'm so jealous of your rosé.
What was that?
I was so jealous when you posted your rosé picture from Damsel. It looks so good.
it's really good. Like it's the rosé was really, really good. So we did we picked up some rosé there, and Mark Ryan, we picked up some of the flowerhead that you were showing last week. And so, now trying to figure out how to kind of branch out to those other wineries that maybe we're not, club members at to get a good variety. And again, I mentioned Esquin earlier. That's one way that we do it too, because you can get a good variety, and they have a really great, and they, they change the variety that they have. And, so I think I saw Mary Hill, the one, Jen, that you were drinking, I think them. So that's one good way to kind of get that variety to come in.
What's the most you would pay for a bottle of rosé that wasn't a Magnum, and what would compel you to pay that much for it? Because I love that rosé is so inexpensive. I can be like, woo, all day long. But I've seen some that are like, what?
Right.
Is the winemaker going to personally fly to my house from France and pour it for me, or what?
Yeah.
That was one of the things I think it came up last week too. I think, Jen, you had that Patterson sparkling rosé.
Yeah.
Did you end up busting into that, or are you still saving it?
We saved it for Easter, so it was kind of, a special occasion. But
right,
those aren't everyday drinkers. It's $60 a bottle,
Yeah. That was I think my rosé price point tends to be under 20. Over 20, I start to get like nervous. With the rosé. I think the Sauvignon was over 20. I don't remember. We're club members at Avenia, so we would have gotten the club member discount. I think the Avenia was a little over 20, but it's delicious, and obviously they, Avenia, they just get fantastic scores and everything because their wine is amazing. But I feel like $20 is kind of like over that. I start to get a little
suspect.
Well, my next door neighbors are excited because I told them I have to open 2 bottles of rosé today because I'm doing a photo shoot. And with rosé, you can't just fake it. I actually have to pour the actual rosé in the glass because the color will give you away if you're like, They're so happy. They're elderly, so I have to carry the bottle over. They're going to put their glasses on the steps at 5 p.m. I have to sanitize the bottle. I have to wear a mask in case I cough on the bottle on the way there. I'm going to actually use a different one, not this one that I've been touching for an hour. And then I have to call them on the phone to let them know it's on the porch. And they might actually let it sit in the sun for 10 minutes. And I'm like, don't, it's going to get warm.
That's so funny. That's awesome you're doing that, though. That's great.
Yeah, that's really great.
Themselves. And since I have so much open, and the neighbor is Japanese, so if you do something nice for her, she has to do something nice for you, and she starts getting stressed out about it. I'm like, no, you're doing me a favor because I can't open 2 bottles today just for myself. I'm going to finish this, by the way.
What do you think of that one, Carrie? Do you like it?
It's nice. It's a little, I don't want to say watery, and I will definitely try it without my stupid glitter in it just in case that's affecting it. It's fine, but I'm not definitely going to dream about drinking it again like I do with some of them where I wake up like, oh, wish I had one more bottle of that.
You guys, has anyone tried the Ryan Patrick rosé this year?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet.
I really liked that one too. I need to get some more. I think that was right around the $20 price point. That was good.
You just reminded me that I'd like to ask Jill, because she probably knows, why are there so many bottles of, especially rosé, where I'd like to know exactly what the grapes are. It's not like it's a trade secret, and they don't put it on the thing. And so I'm like, okay, maybe they ran out of room on the label. So I run to their website and they're like, here's our rosé. It's 2019. I'm like, what's the grapes?
What's in it? Yeah.
Why?
It's all I can really offer is maybe just a guess, but my guess would be, one, there's no label law that necessitates that they do, so they're not overly obligated to disclose. And 2, it might be something that they're working with after they're done processing their varietals. They might have a little blend that's left, and they might want to work with just kind of the portions that are left afterwards. So it might be a little bit of an afterthought.
Interesting. So it's not a TTB issue? And can we explain really quickly the TTB to anybody that's watching that doesn't understand? And we were new to wine blogging. We're like, why don't they just come up with a new label like a Christmas wine? Oh, because it has to go through the TTB first.
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate for labeling. I love to know exactly what's in the bottle. yeah, yeah, I would love to see that come to fruition. Just disclosure, just
It's not
disclosure.
afraid
Let
to
us know.
say
No
something.
judgment. I just want to know. Let me hone my palate so that I know what I'm drinking.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we know, right, that it only has to be 85% of one specific varietal to be called that on the label. So there's always that little mystery percentage that is undisclosed, even when they do tell you what it is. So I would like to know. That might be just extra effort that they don't necessarily want to deal with, but I would like to know.
And what's the red wine that they're constantly co-fermenting with Viognier or Chardonnay? I was like, what?
Syrah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's done. That's been done historically in France, and I think it's kind of a fun novelty thing that's being winemakers they play with it here and there. It's fun. Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't often see that. That's the only one that I'm really aware of, where you have a white varietal and a red varietal being co-fermented together. The only one I'm really familiar with is the Viognier Syrah. But yeah, it's fun.
Now, is it just me, or it seemed like last fall orange skin contact wines were like a huge thing, and it was this big deal, and we went and got the Gard Vintners contact wine, which is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it all over Instagram, and all of a sudden lately I'm not hearing a lot about orange wines or skin contact wines. Like, is it a trend that went, or is it a seasonal thing, or?
I don't have much to offer on that one. That would be my guess, that it was just kind of a little
trend.
I don't know. Sue-Ann, do you have any insight on that?
No, and I have to admit that I never got the guts up to try it because it's very divisive, right? So everybody that I saw that tried it, it was either like okay or like hated it, and so it seemed to be like very divisive. And I admit that I never tried.
Yeah, I didn't try it either. Yeah.
Why do we have so few pet nats in Woodinville? The only one I know of is Savage Grace. There's probably a couple more that I don't know about. I can't know everything.
Yeah.
It seems to be such a trend coming on. I'm like, so Woodinville, anybody have the guts to do a pet nat? Or I'm going to try to pronounce it, a pétillant naturel. How did I do?
I think you got it. It's a new one for me. That I took some students on a field trip out to Walter Clore not about 9 months ago, and that was the first that I had really heard about it being kind of hitting the market, and it was this huge response. Everyone was going wild for it, and then I've just heard talk, and I haven't seen too many on the market either. I've seen none on the market, actually. I've just heard little whispers here and there.
So what's the background on it? Does anybody know?
No, I guess I'm gonna have to load up the hashtag on Instagram and do some research.
I can't say that I have a super clear understanding of it. It's a reminiscent of a champagne style, but it's unfiltered to the best of my knowledge. So that's all I got for you. I really should do some research myself.
I would hold up my bottle of Savage Grace, but I drank it months ago and it's gone, and it was so hard to get into that wine club. I was lucky to get in. I'm like, but I'm Woodinville Wine Blog. They're like, we don't care. I'm like, I was waiting list for a year.
So were you able to try one then, Carrie?
Yes, I did. And actually, I happened to be at Long Cellars doing a tasting, and he mentioned he'd never tried one. I'm like, guess what I have in the car? So I ran out to the car, and then he came up with this ingenious way to recork it for me so I could take it home and finish it with dinner. That was nice.
Was it cloudy? Did you see?
It was
unfiltered,
like this. Call a little pinkish.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
It was good.
It's on my radar. I want to track one down. I want to see for myself.
So I'm only a member of 3 wine clubs, and it's mostly because their venue somewhere I like taking people, to treat friends. We have so much wine in the house. Jen and I trade wine back and forth. Like, no, please, you take this one. No. How many wine clubs are you a member of, Jill? Or do you get so much wine from your job anyway that you're like, I don't need to join?
I wish I got lots of free wine from my job.
I know. I never do either. People think we get it all the time. Like,
no. There was a time when I used to be a wine steward for Hagen. That's when I got a lot.
Really?
I was a wine steward for Hagen for quite a while. But no, currently I'm a club member at Chateau Saint Michel. That's
Nice.
I used to work there. That was my very first wine job. They hired me at 21, and I was a tour guide many years ago.
Wow, that's cool.
About to date myself, but about 20 years ago. And gosh, let's see, Treveri Cellars, and Gloria Ferrer, actually out of Sonoma.
Ooh.
That was short-lived. I was down there for just kind of touring around, and I joined their wine club and was a member for about 1.5 years. And I like to try to alternate. There's so many out there. I get so excited, and then I can't be a member of all of them.
No.
So I kind of have to, cycle in and cycle out.
But how do you end your wine club membership without hurting their feelings?
I send an email, and I just I do feel that, like,
You do. I mean, I know that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I wish I could be a member of all of them. I mean, I love it. I love when I get the delivery. I'm so excited. I love stashing my bottles and trying them. And you get the fun stuff that you can't find out in retail. So I love the experience.
I forget what's coming. And so when it arrives, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot that they made a Grenache Blanc or something like, wow.
Mhm.
And then I come back. I've done that as well too, where I've cycled in and then I've cycled. I'm back. Chateau Saint Michel, I'm back. Done that a few times too.
Now, with that membership, you get early access to the summer concert series, right?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
That's a good perk.
Yeah.
Are those canceled, or are they just kind of like?
They never announced them to begin with, other than John Legend, the first one. They normally announce them like March 9, and they just didn't.
They just didn't do it. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen any official word about cancellation, but I would think so. At this point, I'm just kind of banking on it, and if something comes together, it comes together. But
right,
I'd love it if they would do a virtual online concert and have the performers stand in the Chateau amphitheater by themselves and just do it and show it. But
yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
Yeah.
I know that John Legend concert too. That was one that I had my eye on for sure.
Me too.
I wanted to go.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time for our drinking. I have to go make dinner. Any closing comments or questions we'd like to ask of our viewers who are not very commenty today, but they're here. We got 6 people right now. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us and watching. Would anyone like to volunteer to join us next Wine Wednesday? You need a laptop or a desktop and a webcam and a Facebook account, and you can join us. And drink publicly. We're not embarrassed to.
Thanks so much, ladies, for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for hosting. It's fun.
We'll do it again. Yay.
Pleasure. Yes.
Thanks for putting up with our dumb trivia game.
I loved it. It's good. I learned stuff.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to close out the broadcast. We'll still be in the studio for a second so I can say my goodbyes. And thanks for watching, everybody that tuned in today.
Cheers.
Okay. Now, are we still